So I hope. Sorry about that. So I wanted to talk about something, right? Remember, this channel is not for. It's not even to teach you anything, right? I was actually making these videos for myself. Then I tried to open the YouTube channel and then start posting them there, right? So the videos I choose to be putting out here are my experience, right? Are my experience on the chart, on the market. So it might not be something you want to see or watch, right? Might be you might be expecting a coach, let me tell you how to trade, where to mark out liquidities and all of that shit. And I'll get to that, but for now, right? Because the reason is I haven't gotten a good laptop that would be less efficient enough, to make those videos where I can analyze chat and you watch, right? But for now, I'm not going to speak about my experiences so far. Try to get the ones I can remember and then make videos of them and put it out here. Then when I'm facing or experiencing at the moment, I try to make videos of them as well and put it out here because it comes to a point that in time where in your trading journey you'd relate to these videos, right? It will make sense. It might not make sense now because you're not supposed to see it now, but whenever you see it and it makes sense, that is, it's relatable, right? Then you will understand this video. You might not understand it now. You might just, what is this nigga saying? Because it wasn't meant to teach you anything. It's just an experience, right? It's just my experience of what my trading was. What I learned from my trading, right? So it's not meant for you to learn anything. You need to get through the process to actually understand what I'm saying. You can't learn. I'm not teaching you how to trade here now. You understand? So actually, something happened to me recently, right? And this was the first experience I've had of this situation, right? So it taught me something new about myself again. It taught me something about myself again. So this week, last week. Last week. Let's have last week. Last week, I didn't take any trade last week. Like I was looking for my setup. I could not see my setup, like my A plus setup. I was predicting the market properly, right? I was analyzing the market properly. Already, based off my bias, higher time frame bias, I already understood the direction of price, right? And 9 out of 10, I was correct, right? But something crazy happened. The whole of that week, my setup didn't appear. Yeah, my setup did not appear. My manipulation of the session range high, break of session range low, retracement entry, it didn't appear. Now that happened and it happened and it just passed by, right? I didn't take it seriously. Like I didn't look into it deep enough the way I'm looking at it now, right? I just, okay, whatever. I didn't take trade. I didn't take trade this week. My setup did not show up until this week. Now the experience of last week, right? What I was supposed to learn from that experience, I didn't pay attention enough to learn about it last week until this week. You need to really think to understand what I'm saying. Understand my point. Right, but I'll try my best to make it as understandable as possible. Do you understand? So the experience of last week, whereby I didn't take any trades, like no zero, like zero trade. I came to the chart, I see that I was sat for hours, no fucking trade, and I did nothing. Though I don't forget, I already knew the direction of price. 9 out of 10 times, the direction of my high time frame directional bias was correct and played out, but my system didn't show. Right? I just overlooked it that last week. So coming to this week, I saw a setup on Monday. I saw a setup on Monday. Now this setup was my A plus setup. Right? It was my A plus setup. I entered. Okay, I entered the trade in two accounts, my two funded accounts. One of the 25k and one of the 5k. And my 5k, sorry, I mean. The one on my 5k, the take profit level was okay, was at the risk to reward 1:2R at the dot. 1:2R at the dot. That was for my 5k trade. The 5k entry, the take profit level for that 5k entry was 1:2 risk to reward at the dot. Then the one for my 25k, something different happened there. When I was like setting up my risk to reward level, I was targeting a 1:2.2. Remember, the first the 5k account, I was just targeting a 1:2 risk to reward. Now the 25k, the second account I took the trade, right? I was then targeting 1:2.2R. So price was already moving to my direction. Yes, it has triggered me fine. It's now moving to my direction, very good. You know, it was already at 1:1 risk to reward in profit, right? So I went to bed. It was getting late, so I got very sleepy and I went to bed. I slept off. Waking up the next morning, coming to look at the result of the trade, I saw that price has reversed on my trading view, and I was like, yo, what the fuck is this? Like the reverse, like it was on GU. The reversal was very strong, but I've broken even. I broke even if I slept off that last night, so it was a risk-free trade. The reversal was very high, like it happened very sharply, like multiple green candles to the buy side, neglecting my sell position, you know. But something happened, and I wanted to pay very attention to that. The trade I took on the 5k account hit take profit. The trade on the 25k account, price was moving to my break even. You hear what I said? The trade on my 5k account, the one I risked 1:2.2R, 1:2R, hit take profits. Then the one which is my 25k account now, which I was targeting the risk to reward of 1:2.2R, was going to my break even. Guess what price did? Price came, did at least 1:2.02 and reversed, leaving my 1:2.2 our risk reward. So my 5k account went to take profits, full take profits. My 25k was reversing, and that trade would have been my sixth payout, because I'm not even greedy. I just need my 2%. Just give me my 2%, and I'm waiting for withdrawals. Just give me my 2% on my 25k account, and I am waiting for withdrawals. I don't give a fuck how long it takes. I am waiting for that withdrawals. I'm actually waiting for that withdrawal now. But that one would have been my sixth. I cannot withdraw my 5k now yet because there is a consistency rule I'm trying to pass. It reversed. I just laughed. I think I went to the gym that day. I just laughed at myself. You know, this was Monday, this week. But something happened with my emotion. Because I knew that I would have gotten a payout from that trade. And the trade didn't hit my take profits, even though it came very close. I felt pain. I felt pained inside myself. Pay attention. I felt pain. I felt like deep pain, emotional pain. Like why? Why did this trade? Oh, like I couldn't even blame the market. I blame myself. I was not blaming myself. I was asking why. Why didn't I stay with the 1:2 1:2R? Why did I move to one? What did I need the 1:2.2R for? It wasn't necessary. It wasn't necessary. So why did I do it? What was I thinking? That trade would have been a $600 profit trade, right? And that would have like boosted my payouts for the next 2 weeks, right? And I lost that. I might still get the trade back. Yes. There will be more opportunity in the market. Yes. I'll get that money back. I'll make that money. I'll make the money. Right? But I want you to understand something. Something happened there. So that pain I was feeling because of that missed trade, that missed opportunity, that trade that went close to my stake profit, but didn't trigger my take profit level, because I increased the TP level a little bit, just a little bit. This is something that the profit would have not even affected the full the full digit of the, you know, how will I go? The round figure of the payouts. It would have been a $600 trade, right? Probably $640 something or $615, which was the extra 2.2R, the extra 0.2R, which was the 45 or $15 at the other end, that made me not target my 1:2R at the dots. That made me lose that trade went to my break even. That's just that little mistake. Remember last week, the whole of last week, price has been doing crazy moves. If I take 1:2R at the dot, it will do 1:30, 1:50 save. Right? This is very funny. So that taught me something. That made me understand that that's something else again. Alright? I became desperate. Yes. Now after that conquered trade, I've been consistent profitably for like 7. I've gotten 3 payouts in space of 2 months. I've gotten 3 payouts. So I was already expecting that one again. That's that 5th payout. Because the 4th one is on the way. The 4th one is on the way. I was expecting that one to be the 5th payout for this, in the space of these 2 months. The 5th payout. Yeah, yes, 5th payout. But I lost it. So that made me desperate. The next trade was on gold. Yesterday. So I saw a setup on gold, an A plus setup. Though I won't call it a complete A plus setup, right? Because I wasn't even supposed to enter that trade at that moment, right? The confirmation wasn't very clear. Though it was clear on silver, I didn't take the one on silver because I don't like, I don't trade, I don't trust silver. Sometimes silver can be crazy. Do you understand? What's it called? It played out on silver. Like my A plus setup completely played out on silver. Like the criteria I needed to see before I can confirm that this trade is an A plus setup, it played out quite clearly on silver, but it didn't do the exact, because you know silver and gold are two correlating pairs. So it didn't do the exact same thing on gold, but I just felt like because it's moving like that on silver, it might move that same way on gold. Desperation. The break of structure that happened on gold and the one on silver were two different break of structure. The trade on gold, silver have hit take profits, but the one on gold, the break that I saw there, that I thought was a real break, wasn't a real break. It became a manipulation, a second manipulation. Price took liquidity again and went to take liquidity above the other high before breaking structure properly. So that first liquidity was my stop loss level, and price sniped me out. Sniped me out. Stop loss. That was my seven streak profitable, run. That was when my 7 streak profitable run got stopped short. Like it was stopped short then. I became desperate. My apologies, because I'm not really good with making videos like this. I'm not reading from anything. I'm not speaking from my head, right? And this is what I experienced from the markets, and that's what I'm making this content, these videos for. My experience, because eventually you experience this if you stay long enough, if you keep going, if you don't stop trading, you will come to you will discover this, you will experience this. Maybe not be exactly the same way as mine, but you definitely experience it. So you need to recognize when this happens. You need to recognize when your head or your brain does the wrong thing. You need to bring it back. You need to bring it back. You need to tell your brain that you don't need to be desperate. You need to wait for your setup to show. Else you will take stop loss. You will get stopped out. You're not special. You are not special. Like, you being on that trade will not make that trade play out if all the criteria are not A plus. It has to be A plus. It has to be A plus. Remember, there was no A plus setup for me the whole of last week. Even though I was single trade, like I was, reading the daily buyers correctly, there were no entry for me. I felt like I didn't read too much meaning into it. I just overlooked it. Like okay, maybe I'll see good trade next week. Monday came. The account I was supposed to get payout from, I took a trade and I hit stop loss. Not because I want to hit stop loss, but because I became desperate. I will sit there, I broke another rule. This is a rule now. This is a broken rule. Because I became desperate. Because I didn't take any trade the whole of last week. I didn't wait for that break of structure properly. I just hoped that it would sell from there, because silver is selling. But if you look the silver chart and the gold chart of that particular trade, you will see the difference of the break. Before price came back, did its thing, tap into the entry. I haven't had the trade like locked in, but I didn't check the trade. I had it locked in like on my trading view, but I didn't take the trade because I don't like trading silver. Sometimes it's crazy. It went full take profit on silver. But gold had to come back to take liquidity because the break of structure that I thought was a break of structure wasn't actually a real break of structure. So I took that loss. I lost 1% of my accounts that day. Today, okay, because after the manipulation, I still waited because my bias was correct. I believe that my bias was correct. It might do something else later, but I believe that price is likely to sell from that level. From that level. So I waited last night. Around 12, I saw that price was just consolidating, wasn't doing too much thing. After it has manipulated and took me out of the trade, because it took me out very fast, very early, late at night. Like, it was a quick stop loss hit. It didn't even waste time. Like the next 1 hour candle took me out and then started reversing again because it was just coming here to take out liquidity. So my setup was still there. I just needed to see the actual break of structure to enter, which was what later happened. I saw a break of structure on the 1 hour and I got into the trade. I took into the trade again this morning. The yesterday's trade. I got into it again this morning because I have not seen the break. The manipulation happened again, taking out the old liquidity level, the old buy side liquidity, like a range high, and then close inside the range. Then the next candle opened and inverse the candle, and I picked my entry. Price came back, triggered me. I went to the gym in the morning. Even when I was at the gym, I checked out the trade. The trade was like going to my entry level. It was inside my entry level. It was now doing dancing to my entry level. I just closed it. My mind was relaxed. I know this was my system. So I just overlooked it. I came now, but price is still going. Price is still going in my direction. The price is still on. The trade is still on. I might show it later. Don't like to be checking the trades. So what is my point of this? What is the point of this video? What is the point of this video? Sometimes you just get desperate of trades without even knowing. Like subconsciously, you're addicted to this thing without knowing that you're addicted. Subconsciously, you're addicted to trading. That is if you stay long enough. You just discover that I am addicted to this thing. Because why am I being desperate to get into a trade that's not an A+ setup trade? So we have to know when to catch yourself. This is how tilting happens. You just tilt. You don't know, but your brain have changed like without you even knowing. So you need to pay attention and know when to call yourself. Call yourself back immediately. You already have your rules. Stick with that. Call yourself back to your rules. What am I doing? What's happened here? Okay, I was desperate because I didn't take any trade the whole of last week. I feel like I was behind. Why am I not taking any trade? I'm feeling like jobless. I'm feeling like my life is useless or something like that. I'm feeling worthless. So I need to take a trade. I need to be in the action. What's going on? And then I saw a good trade, breaking my other rule again, which is don't trade on Monday. Subconsciously, I took that trade on Monday. I was desperate because I didn't take any trade last week. Though that trade went to my direction, even though it had to miss that 25k funded account so that I can reflect. It had to do that so that I can, because that's how I read things. It happened the way it should happen. If that trade has gone to my direction, okay, it went to my direction. If that should have hit my take profit level, right? Next week I will be looking for trade on Monday, and I might be desperate. I will believe that it will always work like that. Then when I see another trade, I will not wait for the break of structure properly. I will just enter because I want to enter trade when the break of structure is not clear. I don't know if you need to. Well, you have to get to a certain point before you can understand these things I'm saying. You might not get it now, but you will. That if you stay long enough. So I got desperate. I paid for it. Though I'm in another trade again, hopefully this one gets to take profit level. and we'll be good. But if it doesn't, I have to wait for next week again to get a good trade. I was supposed to collect my payouts today, but they extended the dates. The friend people extended the days to next 6 days, so I have to wait again for another 6 days to collect the fourth payout of this month, the second payout of this month. I thought I was going to receive the payout, then work on that account again to get another trade that will give me another payout. Because I don't need too much stress. Even though I'm trading a 100k account, I would just be targeting 2%. Once I get 2%, I will click withdrawals. I'll click withdrawals. I know there's a point where I'll get to whereby I'll be looking for more trades. Like after taking 2%, I want to take 4%. There will be a time where I'll be doing that. But now, I just want to get more profit funded accounts and be extracting 2% from them. 100k, 50k. But the point of this video, know when to catch yourself. Know when you tilt. Try. It's going to be very difficult. But as I said before, you might not get this video if what I've said hasn't happened to you. So it has to be a relatable experience. It has to be something you can relate to for you to get what I'm saying. Know when to catch yourself. Because if you don't and get into your emotions, you will tilt crazy. That is when the losses start coming in. That's when you start getting that loss, like, what is going on? What am I doing wrong? Losses. It's crazy. Ignore the laugh. This is a very serious case. Yeah. I just like to just laugh. But this is very serious. Pay attention. Know when you tilt. Know when. It's a psychological game. Don't just trade because. Pay attention. Put your head down. Think deep, think proper, think deep. It's deep. It's not something like you just trading is deep. You need to. It's psychological. So it's mental. It's mental. Right? So I'm saying it again. Know when to catch yourself. Know when you are tilting. So you catch yourself and bring yourself back to your trading strategy, to your rules, to your system. You have to align. So that's all I want to say today. Let me see if I can show you that trade. That trade might be going to my stop loss. Let's see. You can see it in my expression, the desperation of me hitting. I need to take profit. Yes, it's still there, but the difference is I recognize it. So I know what to do. I know how to manage it. It's always going to be there. The emotions, the feelings are always going to be there. Desperation are always going to be there. There's a strong resistance level here. Price is holding price down. I don't know if it's gonna. I need it to break, honestly. But there's a strong resistance level here. Very strong one. A very, very strong resistance level. This other block. This other block is I think it's a 4 hours or daily time frame, daily order block. But if price breaks below that, then I'm likely going to take profit. But if it doesn't, I might break even here. I might break even the trade. What the fuck am I doing? Sorry. I might break even the trade. This is my stop loss level. I might break even the trade. I break even the trade and then wait till next week. Right? But hopefully it breaks below and goes to this level and goes to my take profit level. But I'm not going to interact with the trader. I'll probably just leave it. Right? So whatever happens anyways. But if price is able to break below this, and just come easily to this level, then I'll just take profit. But if it doesn't, that's what trading is about. You can't always tell what price is likely to do. Price will do whatever he wants to do, right? But so yeah, that is what I'm in this trade, right? So hopefully he gets to take profit. Hopefully he gets to take profit because it can be crazy sometimes. I can't even lie. It can be crazy sometimes, but don't forget the point of this video. right? Know when to catch yourself. Know when you're tilting. Know when your emotions are overriding. Know when your emotions are trying to take the front seat. No, try to catch yourself. All right? Peace out.